We are going to start this session. I'm Azerama. Thank you very much for coming, for joining. I will record this session, so everybody here, I think, is agree with that. So here we are, Joker the Jester, Cacahuate, and Pivo. But also I will upload this video to YouTube later. Well, when you are ready, you can tell me and we can start. Are you ready, guys? You already have Zbrush open?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, well, let's start. This is the first thing that you say when you, well, that you see when you open Zbrush. You see this little box up here. This is the light box. You can hide it with this button. Open and hide it. Sometimes it's helpful to get some projects already started, like this dog or this female body or the male body. We are going to start with some of these projects, so we can do it in this time some easier in the easier way. So let's double click on the dog. I will be using the pen tablet. I'm using a Wacom. It's like 10 years old. Let me search the model. Wacom Intuos. I'm using the other screen, so you will be you are seeing the ZBrush screen. So Wacom Intuos 4 medium. I think is this one. It's an older version of this one. Um, every Wacom tablet or pen tablet is useful. It's useful to work with ZBrush. You can use also a smaller tablet and it will works okay. So if you are working with the mouse, it's okay, but I strongly recommend to switch to a pen tablet when you can. So let's start. Double click on the dog and we will have it here. On the previous live stream, I was using one software named Keypress, but my antivirus told me that has a Trojan, so I had to uninstall it. That's why this time I will not be using some software to show what I'm pressing, but I will try to say it every time I press something. So this is the dog. At this moment, any question?
Not yet.
Okay, thank you. And if you can help me with the English, it's very appreciated because I haven't spoken English like 10 years ago. So I'm really out of practice and I also forget a lot of words. So how to navigate here in ZBrush? We are going to use Cacahuate, you are going to use a mouse or a pen tablet?
It's a Wacom Intuos.
Okay, great. Joker?
Just use the mouse for now.
Okay, it's okay. And Pivo, are you there? Are you going to listening the class, or are you going to participate on it? Okay, he's typing. Okay, it's okay. Well, if you have any question, I will have Discord on your screen, so I can read you. So if you have any question, you can write me here, and I will answer you. Well, okay. Right. To navigate, I'm going to use Alt and the pen tablet. For example, if you want to rotate the view, you are going to click in a free space and move the pen tablet so you can rotate the view. You can try it. Also, if you are sharing your screen, that can help me to see if you are doing it right or don't. And I can have your screen on my other, I'm using a TV on my other TV. So thank you so much, Kakawote. Okay, right. So when you are rotating, pressing the pen, you can press also Shift and we'll do a snap to front view, to side. Also, if you are rotating, for example, to the top view and press Shift, you will do a snap to this view. Okay, to continue navigating here in Zbrush, we are going to turn off the perspective so we can see the dog in an orthographic view. So let's press this button right here, say persp, and we are going to turn it off. Now we are in an orthographic view without perspective. So I don't know if I'm recording. Yes, I'm recording, sorry. Okay. Other thing we need to do when we are here in Zbrush is to zoom in and zoom out, but also pan the view or move it side to side. So I'm going to press Alt, then I'm going to click on a free space and move it to the side. This is, we are panning or we are moving the view side to side. Now we know how to turn the view and how to pan the view. I don't know if it's okay say pan in English. Is that okay, Joker? Panning?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, great. Well, the next thing we need to do every time we are working on ZBrush is zoom in and zoom out. The zoom in and zoom out is just first we are going to press Alt, then we are going to click and we are panning. But if we release Alt and move the pen, we are going to zoom in and zoom out. Okay, I'm watching your screen, Kakawate, and in your dog is a little bit darker.
Is masked.
Right, it's masked. With control, you can control and that's it. Well done. So try to zoom in and zoom out. Is Alt, click, release Alt, and move the pen. Well done. We can also use these buttons on the right, but I don't recommend it. I don't recommend use this because will make your workflow slower. So we are going to try always to do it with Alt and the pen. So any question at this moment? Any question?
Nope.
Okay, great. Well, let's continue. We are going to start working with the brushes. We are not going to talk about every button here in Zbrush because that's a little bit boring, and we are going to discover the functions of every button on practical exercises. So we are going to start to practice right now. We are going to press Ctrl D 3 times. Control D, Control D, Control D. D as Dynamark. Well, what we have done, we added subdivisions to this dog. With Control D, I'm going to show it. It's not needed to do it. For example, if I open this menu, Geometry, we can see we have now 4 subdivisions. But if we press Ctrl C 3 times, we had no subdivisions. Ctrl C, Ctrl C, Ctrl C, and we had no subdivisions. I will add it again with Ctrl D, 1, 2, 3, and now we have 4 subdivisions. What is a subdivision? This dog is made of polygons. I will show it, it's not needed to do it. I activated polyframe with Ctrl F, with Shift F. We can on and off polyframe, and we can see all the Maya or the polygon net, the mesh. Every single square is a polygon. Polygons are conformed or constructed by edges, the lines, points, the vertex, and the face is the whole square. I'm not going to go too deep in these details or this theoretical information. Is just to let you know that we are increasing the polygons on this mesh. So now we have 500, around 500. How do you say 500? 1000? 500,000?
500,000.
500,000 active points or vertices. Well, I will turn off polyframe and we are going to start to working with the brushes. Here in the top side, we have the brush, the standard brush, and if we pass the pen on the dog, we are going to start transforming his volume. We can increase the size or decrease the size of the brush in this top slide bar. We can do it bigger or smaller. Try to draw the same thing that I'm doing. We have the standard brush, and in the draw size slider, we are going to put it around 20. It's not needed to be perfect. Could be 21, 19, and start drawing in our dog. If you are using a pen tablet, the pressure of your pen is important. If you press so slow, the line will also be not too strong. But if you are pressing stronger, also the stroke will be stronger too. Almost every brush in Zbrush have at least two functions. The first function is the standard or the predetermined function, but if we press Alt, we are going to do the opposite. In this case, we are going to craving on its screen. Okay. Any question at the moment?
Not yet.
Okay. Great. Okay, let's continue. I can see only one screen at a time, so I'm seeing the Cacahuates screen because I know Joker. You are already know a little bit about CG software, 3D software. You already show me some of your work. You also animate, so it's okay for you.
That's fine.
Okay, great. Anyway, if you have a question, please tell me. Let me know. Okay, now let's continue with other brushes. The standard brush is a brush that I use often, but not too much. I use some other brushes more than the standard. So to open and choose another brush, we are going to press B in our keyboard, and we have this menu. All of these are brushes. We are going to use one of the most used brushes, or one of the most brushes. Well, I use this brush a lot. Let's press C, and now we are going to search for the clay buildup, this one. Some sculpture, some artists or 3D sculpture use more clay tubes, or one use only clay. I like more the clay buildup. So let's start with this one. Let's turn around the dog and work on the other side. Remember, you can press shift and do the snap. Okay, I'm going to increase a little bit my brush size. You can do it up here in draw size, but there are also two shortcuts to do it on your workspace. You can press S and you will see the same slider and use it. I recommend use this one with S, but I always use a spacebar. Sometimes it's not recommended because you can move the focal shift or you can change the color. Have a lot of options here, and sometimes by accident you can press one and mess it up. So it's your choice. You are going to see that I always use spacebar because it's more comfortable to me. But if you can use S, I think it's better. But I'm not used to. So let's put the clay buildup around 30 and start working on this dog. With this brush, you can add some volume and also decrease it if we press Alt. I use this brush to do muscles. Let's make her leg a little bit muscular. You can increase or decrease the size of the brush. Okay, I will give you 1 minute to work with the clay buildup. Okay, very good. I'm seeing Joker's screen. He's already using smooth. He's combining clay buildup and smooth. And Cacahuates is working with clay buildup. Okay, well done. The next brush we are going to use is the one that Joker is using. Is called Smooth. You can access to this brush. You can watch my screen. You can access to this brush just pressing Shift, and these circles will change the color from red to blue. And you can see that the smooth brush is active. So pressing and holding Shift, you can smooth all the surface of your model. So you can do it. You can smooth the strokes you made with the clay buildup. Okay, very good. Any question?
Nope.
Okay.
I was just trying something that I used the blender. You can use the brackets to make it bigger or smaller too. The brush.
Oh, great. Let me try it. Sometimes the Spanish keyboard and the English keyboard is different. I don't have those keys in my keyboard. I need to use
Oh, okay.
something else. But that's a great comment. So if you have brackets, is the name of that key?
Yes.
If you have brackets, you can use it to increase and decrease the size of your brush. I think I need to buy a keyboard with those keys. Looks very helpful. Thank you, Joker. Okay, the next brush we are going to use is Dem standard. So let's press B, then the letter D, and then we are going to find it here, Dem standard. Okay, let's click it, and we can create very thin or very specific path in our model. With Dem standard, you can do a smiley face, a creepy smiley face like mine, or you can write something. And if with Alt, we can do the opposite. Instead of craving, you can pull out the mesh. The standard brush, the clay buildup, the smooth, and the demi standard are some of the most used brushes when you are sculpting. We are going to use other brush that is also used almost every time you are sculpting. Is called trim dynamic. So let's press B, then the letter T, and choose trim dynamic. The trim dynamic can help you to polish the surface. I'm going to increase the size of my brush around 80 and start making some strokes on this mesh. Don't worry if you are destroying your work you already done. It's something we need to do and redo sometimes. If you press Alt, you can fill some holes. For example, you can watch my screen a little bit for some time. I'm going to use the trim dynamic and I'm going to use Alt, and I'm filling this eye, this hole. It's not perfect, but you can combine it with smooth and is already filled. Fill it out, I think. Well, God, my pronunciation is awful. I apologize for it. I think you are understanding me because you speak Spanish, but an English
Yes.
speaker will not understand me, I think. But is I will try to do it in English because I want you to correct me when you need it. If you hear that I'm saying a word um, wrong again and again and again, you can say it to me. It's okay, and that will help me to improve my English. So it's be like out of my comfort zone. So we have the dog polish again. So I will do a little bit review of the brushes. The next class or the next the next class I will give you my custom, maybe not the next one, maybe when we're going to work with male anatomy, we are going to cover the basics with the standard interface. But the next class I will give you my shortcuts so you can access to the more common brushes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you don't need to press B and find it here. But this class is, I think it's better to use it in this way. So we are going to press B, S, and I think it's T. B, S. Let's search for this standard. In my case is double V, because I added some extra brushes. So if you want, you can pause a little bit and just watch my screen. We use the standard with and without alt. We use also the clay buildup, BC clay buildup. We use smooth, and we used also the trim dynamic and the clay, no, the dem standard. So I'm going to do a color for the dog. So I'm going to use clay buildup. One thing, you don't need to do it at this moment. Just please watch my screen. I'm going to activate the symmetry here in Zbrush. You can, with X, you can activate symmetry, and the thing you do on the right side will also do it on the left side. So symmetry is activated with X and deactivated with X too. So at this moment it's activated. You can see it 2 points, and I'm going to start this color. I'm using clay buildup. Now I'm going to switch to trim dynamic. A little bit of smooth on the sides. Now I'm going to use the clay buildup. I'm sorry, the dem standard. And now the same dem standard, but using alt. And I'm going to add another subdivision. Control D. And again, the trim dynamic. At the end, I'm going to use our very important brush is Move. You can access to it with B, M, and in my case G. And I will leave it in this stage, so you can try to do it. And if you have any question, please let me know. First, activate symmetry with X. Try to rotate the dog to see it in the front side. Start with the clay buildup. We are going to have around 5 to 7 minutes to work on it, so take your time. Pivo, we smooth until all the clay is gone. Yeah, we can smooth. Also, Pivot, you can share with us some screenshots. You are following this practice. I'm sorry, I haven't read your question because I watching the screen. But I will try to be more more active on the chat room also. Okay, well done. Use the trim dynamic to have a flat surface. And you can use the dem standard to mark the lines between the neck of our dog and the collar. I don't know if I pronounce it well.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think Kakawate already have it. Very, very well done. I'm going to watch Joker's screen. Okay.
Remember,
Here, here
I'm
Joker,
using, I'm using the mouse. So.
it's looking good. I think you can. It's okay. Don't smooth it. We are going to use other brush that it's very useful. In your case, we are going to use the. Let me remember the name. Is the pinch brush. So press B, then P. Now pass it. That's it on the line. In your case, you are using a mouse, so work with the C intensity. Use the pinch brush, but put the C intensity around 8. Yeah, that's it. Well done. When we work with mouse in Zbrush, we need to use a lot the C intensity, because when we are working with the pen, we can press stronger or softer, and we can have that C intensity more controlled. But when we are going to work with mouse, you need to slide that C intensity a lot. So very well done. The next thing we are going to do, if you want to watch my screen, we are going to use the move brush. So press B, M, and choose move. You can do it. There are some variants, move elastic, move topological, but in this case we are going to use only move. Okay, now please watch my screen for a few moments. I'm going to increase the size, and I'm going to turn off symmetry with X. The move, as the name say, you can move the mesh. If you use it without Alt, you move right or left. depending on your point of view or your camera, right or left. But if we press Alt, you are going to move the mesh in or out. So this is very helpful to use the move also with Alt. So you can move it out or in, and without Alt, move it right or left. Try the same thing in your dog. You can do it on his face or on his tail. It's okay. We are going also to Control C, so just try the brush. Okay, everything's good. Is everything good? The move brush is, I think, the most used brush here in Zbrush. Now I'm going to add some pikes on this color. So please watch my screen a little bit. I'm going to activate symmetry again with X, and using Alt I'm going to start doing these spikes on this color. You need to turn around the camera to get the result. Now we have a Doberman, or this dog is ready to fight. So try it on your own model, please. Remember, you can increase or decrease the size of your brush. For these pikes, you need the brush size little small, a little bit smaller. And I recommend to use symmetry, so you can save the half of the time. Okay, Joker have it. Well done. Oh, Cacahuate, you can add another subdivision with Control D. Now your mesh is higher and you can have more detail on your sculpt. Excellent. Great. Very well done. How you are feeling with Zbrush? Is too difficult? Is kind of tricky? How are you feeling?
It's a little overwhelming. All the shortcuts, all the movement, but the main issue is this is the first time that I use the webcam.
Okay. Yeah, you will need to work with it around 3 days to used to. It's a little bit weird when you are using your pen tablet for first time, but you are doing great. You are doing really
Thanks.
great. The first time I used a Wacom, I used it on Photoshop, a 2D program, so it was too much easier. And I think I will be really mess up if I use a pen tablet for first time on a 3D software because it's a little bit trickier, but I think you are doing great. Okay, very good. Now we are going to use other thing that we great. Now your is the it's a dog from hell. Well done, Joker. So we are going to mask some areas of our dog. I'm going to work on his face. So to mask a part of our mesh, we are going to use control. So when I'm pressing and holding control, you can see our cursor change its color to yellow. And if I'm going to paint this mask, pressing control, try to do this mask on its eyes. Work with symmetry with X. Well done. We also can erase some of our mask pressing Ctrl, then Alt, and then painting in our mesh. So pressing and holding Ctrl and Alt, you can erase parts of your mask. Okay, you can do a design, maybe like Robin. I will give you a minute so you can work on your mask. If you have any question, you can ask me. I'm going to talk, but you don't need to watch my screen. You can continue on your own model. Masking, we use masking to protect one part of the mesh. So the part that is masked or masked can be modified by our brushes. So you can work around the mask, but the mask will not change. That part of the mesh will not change. So now please watch my screen. I'm going to use the clay buildup. So B, C, and then my clay buildup, and I'm going to start doing some strokes around the mask. We can rotate our view. Now I'm going to use the smooth one. We're pressing Shift and a little bit the dem standard, pressing Alt. Maybe a little bit more, a little bigger or bigger. This is only a demonstration of how masking can help us when we are doing some sculpts. So to clear the mask, we can use Ctrl, Alt, and Paint. But if you want to erase all the mask, you can press Ctrl, holding Ctrl, and click and drag outside the mesh on a free space. So it's already clean. If you want to invert the mask, you press Ctrl and click. With the pen tablet could be difficult because sometimes we Control click, but we drag a little bit and that will clear our mask. So for now, try to do something around the mask. I will give you a minute and we are going to practice about cleaning the mask and inverting the mask. So clay Buildup. You can use also the standard or clay, dem standard. Experiment with the brushes. Have happy accidents on Zbrush. Great. I think we are using masking very well. Now, please go back to my screen and we are going to invert the mask. To invert the mask, just press Ctrl and click outside. Okay, well done. Now we are going to clean the mask. Pressing Ctrl, we are going to click and drag. And that's it. That's how we can handle masking in our models. I think we did great. I think the worst part of this class is my English
Our
and
English.
and I think I don't know if this course will thrive or uh, will keep going. I hope it will. I will try to do it every single Saturday. I hope you can be here with me. But if sometimes you need to travel or you need things to do, don't worry. I will be okay with it. I will anyway do the class and record it and upload it to YouTube. And when you have time, you can watch it and practice with it. So I think that's all. I want to thank you, Joker, Cacahuate, Pivo, Liam, to be here with me. And I don't know, any final comments, any question about Zbrush?
Not yet, but we will.
Okay, I will left or give you some homework. As I said previously, the homework is optional. The homework will be to work with this same dog. I'm going to do it in these 2 minutes. So you can save one last thing. How we save our work. We are going to save it in this menu, File, Save As. Save As. I'm going to deactivate on the history. So click on Save As, and you can save it as CPR, Zbrush project. So you can name it my dog 01, and I'm going to close Zbrush. Zbrush will ask you if you want to save, but I already did, so no. And I'm going to open it again. Here is my file. And here we have our dog. So the homework will be to work with, I'm going to change the configuration to standard, to work with the same dog and do a different design for him. So you can show your lightbox with this button, then double click on the dog, and you will have a new dog. You will add some subdivisions, and maybe you can add some, I will activate symmetry with X. Maybe you can add a pair of wings. You will experiment that the mesh will do something like this because we are working with subdivisions, but there are different ways to avoid this kind of look. You can smooth it, and the next class we are going to work with Dynamesh. So don't worry if you are having this trouble. We can fix it next class. So you can do your own design, and if you do your homework, you can do it or expand like 10 to 15 minutes. It's okay. If you want to give some more time to it, you can do it like 30 minutes. More than 30 minutes, I think, is not necessary, but you can. But with 15 minutes, it's okay, and you can post it a screenshot here in live stream questions, and that's it. Thank you very much for being here with me, and have a wonderful Saturday.
Thank you for having us.
Mm, Thank you.
Thank you, Joker, Cacahuate, Pibu. See you next Saturday. Goodbye. Liam,
Bye bye.
I will have a breakfast with you. She's my wife. So goodbye.
Perfect. Bye.